Hello and welcome to Not So Awesome Review. And today we're looking at the Bendy and the Ink Machine Ink Bendy Action Figure by, what was it, Fat Mojo. Still a strange name for a company, but I'm not judging. And I gotta say, this figure, sculpt-wise, articulation-wise, is definitely my favorite of the three figures. Now don't get me wrong, aesthetically, Bendy and Boris look better, in my opinion. Just the cartoony look, I love it. But the work they did on this guy, I think, is amazing and needs to be, applauded because he looks good. It looks like running ink throughout his whole body. Uh, Even the detail of, I believe it's supposed to be his left hand is longer than his right. It does look like his left hand is longer than his right. And just overall, I really like the look of this figure. One thing to note on mine is, maybe you guys can see it, the little pen that kind of holds the joint together isn't pushed in all the way, but that's not a big deal. I'll just apply some heat to that and then push it in, and it should be, nice and, I guess, evenly smooth, whatever. It's a tight joint. It's not like it's falling apart, but it would be nice to kind of have it nice and flush there. Anyways, let's start off with his accessories. He comes with a gear, as you can see here, solid white. It is what it is. And a wrench, double-sided wrench. I guess that's what it's called. How come Bendy didn't come with a what was it? The other tools and stuff, just weapons. I guess I don't know. Hoping we're getting a series 2 with like more stuff and better articulation and things like that would be awesome. If we got like another series of these and they just came with more stuff, I think that would be cool. This guy though, like I said, aesthetically you can see all the little bumps and stuff that make it look like ink is running down his body. You can see his bow on here, a little bit sideways, looks good. The black on his hands on there look good, though he does have a little bit of black overage on his gloves. His face looks really nice. You have some ink falling down. You got his face, mouth, everything looking really clean, though it looks like they missed a little bit of black on the ink right there next to his mouth. So it looks like his mouth is missing a piece or something's going on. It looks weird. But other than that, I think it's a nice looking figure. They even continued to detail all the way around his back. So detail-wise, this guy is definitely one of my favorites. I mean, like I said, the other guys, I like the way they look better, but this figure honestly came out really good, and his articulation, probably the best out of all of them. The only thing he's lacking out of all of them is the leg movement, the ankle movement. There is no left and right ankles, but I think it's okay. We don't really need it. It would have been nice to have it, but we don't need it with this guy. Now, he does have, I wouldn't say balancing issues, but you do gotta mess with him a little bit to get him to stand up straight or stand up in a certain pose, but it's doable. Not like the last one that kept wanting to fall over because of the hair. This guy, he'll stand up. You just gotta mess with him for a little bit. Articulation-wise, his head can look left and look right. The joints are nice and tight. His arm can go up that high, can rotate all the way around. He has that single jointed elbow. It does a little bit less than 90, but it's all right. His wrist can rotate all the way around. His leg can come up about that high. Can't really go back. They can go out really well. And he has a single jointed knee. And yeah, overall, articulation, love it. Let's move on to some size comparisons. So here's compared to the other figures in the wave, the entire wave sitting right here in front of you. He is shorter than Boris. Maybe a little bit taller than Alice, and definitely taller than regular Bendy there, but it is a nice variety of size. It's kind of funny because the articulation on these figures and everything is kind of all over the place, But Bendy here, we don't have any joints on the knees or the elbows, and his joints are loose. Boris here, he's kind of more of a straight figure, no legs coming out or anything, but decent, solid articulation. Alice here, good articulation, bad weight distribution, and Ink Bendy here, good almost all the way around, just missing the leg articulation, which I can get why they didn't do, but still, it's kind of funny. It's just like all over the place here. Some are definitely better than others. I think the entire series would have been good, except for the fact that her hair falls. If it wasn't for the weight issues with Alice's character here, the fact that she falls down really easily, I would say that this is a pretty good, solid Series 1. For the price of $12.99, it's not bad at all. And I still don't think it's that bad. I just wish this character could stand on its own. together. They all look really nice, and if you're a fan of the game, you're a fan of any of these characters, I definitely recommend picking them up. Just like I said before, check your local Walmart and do not pay over scalper prices for these. And once again, for size comparison, here he is next to Marvel Legends Iron Man. So, end of the day, this is definitely one of the better figures of the entire wave. Now, like I said, the other characters do look nicer. I can see why you would want them, just in their general, the way they look, the way they're drawn, the way they were characterized, as I guess you could put it. But articulation wise and detail wise, even though he isn't like wearing like a dress or, you know, overalls or anything like that, the ink flowing through his body and everything looks good. The face, I think, was done well. The articulation, I think, looks amazing. I really have no issues with this guy. I actually really like him, and I would put him as my favorite of the four if it wasn't for the fact that I just really, really like how Boris and regular Bendy look. And that's not to say that this guy is bad in any means. I just like how they look better than this guy, which is probably why when I picked these guys up at my Walmart, they had more of this figure than the other ones. But don't leave this one behind. He's definitely worth it, especially in the articulation department. I think it is like their best articulated figure of the four. That said, you know, I'm sure you guys are going to want to pick up Bendy first, and I'm fine with that. You know, I would agree with that. That's the first character I would get to if you're not planning on getting the whole wave. But definitely consider this guy. He is awesome. And yeah, not much else to say aside from hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you did, comment, like button, all that cool stuff. Subscribe for more, and I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.